Welcome back to the Diagnose Brave video. And today is going to be part 3 of our series in talking about our updates with my mom's recent breast cancer diagnosis. And so last week we left off that she had chosen which hospital and surgeon she wanted to move forward with. And so we had gotten the MRI completed and we had gotten the results of the genetic testing in. And so we were just kind of waiting to see what the next steps would be. And we received a call the day after the MRI to let my mom know that it did show additional areas of concern. And so they wanted to move forward with an MRI biopsy of those sites. And they had to wait a week because, and this is, every hospital can be different, but they need you to be off of vitamins before the biopsy. So that's why it kind of put us back a week. But at least the MRI showed something to look at, because as we had talked to other doctors, we found out that, depending on people's age and background, it really dictates whether or not they even do the MRI. So the fact that we were able to get that MRI completed and it did show some more areas means that we're going to have even a better picture of what she's dealing with to make the best decision on what kind of surgery and treatment she has moving forward. So she was able to get in, like I said, within a week to get the biopsies done. And, everyone at the hospital did a great job of explaining the process before she went in the back instead of doing it while the test is being done. I think that can kind of be a little bit more jarring for people. Whereas if you say, like, hey, from start to finish, this is what you could expect, this is what we need you to do, where I've had tests done and they're like, breathe now, don't breathe now, hold your breath, do this, do that. And you're kind of like, wait, what? I'm getting all kind of jumbled up here. So it was great because the radiologist who was going to be performing the biopsy came out and explained everything to her. And she felt very comfortable with him. And it turned out, instead of it being 45 minutes to an hour, it was about a 20-minute procedure. So that was great because she was going to have to be in like the Superman pose in the MRI thing. And that's hard to hold on your own, let alone while they're kind of moving everything else around. And the recovery was the same for the most part as the other biopsy, and just, keeping the ice on it and keeping the area contained and not really using the arm. So since she had already been through the other biopsy, I think it was a little bit easier to kind of rebound from it. My dad even had a great idea about putting an arm sling we had from a previous medical thing on the arm to just help her keep it from like using it, because it's just so habit of like, you need to reach for something, just grab it. So that was kind of neat. And so we're just kind of waiting to hear what the results of the biopsy are. They said it was going to be 3 to 4 days. So, again, when it comes to trying to see, okay, I've got 2 options for surgery and treatment, which one do I do? Gosh, I want to make the right decision. Here, having additional information is just going to help, I think, build the confidence to know that, hey, if these come back and if it's more cause for concern, then, maybe the mastectomy is the best way. Just get it out and not have to deal with it. Or if the areas aren't a cause for concern, then that's something that, she can decide as far as, does she want to just do the smaller surgery and, see what happens, or do we default with the mastectomy? Because I will say, in talking to the different surgeons, that before this MRI showed this area, they were much more like, no, it makes sense to just do the lumpectomy and the radiation, not just because of her age and background, but just as far as it not being as invasive, right? And more chance for possible infections and issues. Along with a mastectomy, I found out you end up having to have drain tubes. And I had drain tubes for one of my surgeries, and they're a pain in the butt. You don't get to move around as freely, and they can be painful, so there's a lot to look at when you're viewing, okay, these are the two different kinds of surgeries. A lot of pros and cons list, you have to make. So, but overall, my mom is doing great as far as keeping more of a positive beat with everything. I think the fact that the doctors and hospitals are able to move in such a timely manner, I think has also really helped keep spirits high, because as I said in other videos, when you talk to people and they say that they had a diagnosis and it got worse or something spread, I think a lot of times that's a direct correlation of how long they waited to either have surgery or address it or seek medical treatment. So I feel because we're really on top of it and staying on top of it, even the radiologist was like, okay, it should take about 4 days. If you don't hear from us by Tuesday, like feel free to call us, and so it's like they're really working with the patient and their family and really trying to provide that overall customer service that you just don't always see in the medical field. So, so far we've been extremely blessed with all the um, staff members that we've been in contact with and everybody that's been a part of my mom's care team. And so, like I said, we're just waiting to see the biopsy results, and then no matter which surgery, I'm guessing there's going to be some pre-surgery tests that need to get done. I know in the past I've had to get like blood work and like a basic EKG just to get approved. Anytime they usually put you under for surgery, they have to get like a clearance. And so I know that's something that's probably going to be up and coming soon. But yeah, even with the biopsy MRI kind of pushing us back a week that we weren't expecting, the doctor's office has done a really good job of communicating, of saying that, they definitely would be able to get us in surgery in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we're just going to kind of wait to see the results of that biopsy and just keep on having positive and healthy mindset towards everything, because that plays a role. And I think too, my mom's feeling a little bit more comfortable in the way the direction is happening, because she did start sharing with more of her friends about her diagnosis, and she's open to talking more about it, which I think is actually a really great sign when somebody is diagnosed. I think it just helps. I mean, everybody handles things differently. Again, I know there is not one way for everyone, but at least how I operate, I would imagine she's kind of along the same line. So I feel like the more she tells other people and shares it, it just kind of helped reaffirm that, like, okay, we've got a little bit of a speed bump here. We're going to get over it and then move forward with whatever we have going on next. So, just to those who are going through things, whether you're the patient or caregiver, keep that positive attitude as much as you can. And if you have any comments or things you want to share of your own experience, leave them below. I think other people would appreciate the community kind of sharing with each other. So hope you have a great rest of your day, and talk to you next week.